Melissa here, and today we are going to run through a leg workout. So we're whole leg here today, which is super fun. We're going to start out with a warm-up, a couple of warm-ups actually, and move through a resistance band exercise to target and warm up the hamstrings. This one you can start out like 10 to 15 reps. 15 would be perfect. We really want that blood flow going, and we really want those hamstrings firing. So we will start off with that. To do a resistance band lying hamstring curl, we have a big circle band securely attached to something that's not going to move, and then we're going to hook our ankles inside the other end of the loop. So it can take a little bit for you to find the right position. There we go. And then we want to make sure, there we go, that we have the band on our ankles. And when we're going to extension, when we have our legs long, we don't want the band completely slack, but there's really no tension in the hamstrings here. So we're going to try not to flex your feet, try to keep your ankles soft, try to keep your hips pressed into the floor, and you're going to bend the knees, contract the hamstrings. So the only thing that should be working here is your hamstrings. You should not feel this in the glutes. You should not feel this in the lower back. You should only feel the hamstrings. You shouldn't feel it in the calves either. So what we're working is just hamstring. So bend the knees, contract the hamstrings, let your legs go long, extend, and then bend again. So we're just contracting the hamstring. So these can be done as a warm-up. They can be done in place of hamstring curls. They're a really good alternative to most lying machines, as those will put you into a flexed hip position where you have a greater potential to recruit from the lower back. So this should take all lower back recruitment out of your hamstring curl. Then we will move through a mobility exercise, our hip airplane. So this is warming up and stabilizing the hip joints, helping them to be able to better move through a full range of motion. The hip airplane is actually a really great exercise for helping to strengthen pelvic floor and core activation. So it's a really wonderful exercise. If you cannot do that many of them when you first try, don't worry about it. It's a very challenging mobility exercise, but just keep practicing and you'll be able to build up. Ideally, we would want to get 10 of these on each side before moving into our workout. We're going to do hip airplane, and the hip airplane, the purpose of the exercise is to both mobilize and stabilize the hip. So it is like a single leg deadlift. When you are first learning this exercise, it's probably a good idea to have something to hold on to for some stability. So we're going to go into our single leg deadlift stance. So here, soft knee, tight core, and we're going to push the hips back. As we push the hips back, we're going to take the non-working leg and press it towards the back wall. Then we take the opposite arm from the opposite leg, right? So it's contralateral. And we're going to angle it towards the floor. Boom. And then we're going to come up and open that hip of the non-working leg, close it off, and that's one rep. And then bring it back down here, touch the floor. Work on your stability. So push that leg back, touch the floor, and then come up to, carefully, come up to neutral, open the hip, and then back to center. So with this exercise, it's working all the hip stabilizers. You're also working ankle stabilizers. It's probably a lot easier also if you take your shoe off. That way you're able to connect the heel, the toe, and the pinky toe and have that really good foot support on the ground like we should have. So we're actively pushing the ground away, right? So here. Good. Make our connection. Push that leg back. Rotate. Touch the floor. Come back up. Open the hip. And then back to center. So we want to get equal reps on both legs. If you have a weak leg that you know is weaker, we want to be starting on that leg. And that is our hip airplane. From there, we'll move into our belt squat. The belt squat is a fantastic exercise for targeting whole legs. So you're getting glutes, you're getting core, you're getting hamstrings, you're getting quads. It's a really, really great exercise for just the entire leg. Oh, adductors as well, because it's a super wide stance, so that's going to activate a little more adductor. With the belt squat, we want to get anywhere between 6 and 15 of these, just depending on where your strength is. So always moving through progressive overload to build up strength to keep seeing progress in muscle growth. Hi, I'm Coach Clarissa, and today we're going to go over how to use this particular machine, which is our belt squat. So it has a belt, has a big old hook. You're going to step into the belt. And then you want to make sure that it's positioned so it's on your hips. Like we want it to be not up here on our waist, but down here on our hips where our bones are going to keep it from moving around and where we're not going to develop an injury or have a risk of injury. So you can put it in the middle portion, is usually like a pretty good place for everyone to start. And then your feet are wide, like we want feet outside the hips, toes are slightly pointed out so that we have our toes always going in line with our knees. And then you're gonna lift up, so it's unbend the knees so that you can unrack the unit. You're gonna pull it back, and then you're going to drop down into your squat. So as you're in your squat, you wanna keep your back straight, you wanna keep your knees in line with your toes, and you're gonna press through the whole foot, come back up. So core is really engaged, torso's upright, and you're going to feel this some in the quads, a little bit in the hamstrings, but it's primarily glute focused and inner thigh focused. So full range of motion is down here where you touch the bottom, and then stand back up. So pressing through the whole foot, we don't want toes coming up, we don't want to be leaning to the side, we don't want to be hunched over, trying to stay upright as much as possible. And then to re-rack, you're going to pull it up, slide the handle back, and then you can unhook. And that is our belt squat. From there, we're going to walk through a conventional deadlift. I love the deadlift. It's such a great exercise for your hamstrings, for your glutes, for all of your back. We're not lifting with our back, but we are strengthening our back. It is a stabilizer in this exercise. So with our deadlift, working anywhere between like 5 and 15 reps, again, depending on what your goal is, depending on where your strength is, but starting somewhere and moving through that progressive overload. All right, today we are going to go over some of the finer points of the deadlift. So we have our deadlift jack here, which is super awesome when you are lifting super heavy loads because you can just dump the weight onto the floor and then slide the jack out. And you don't have to spend 500 hours getting your, messing with the bar and getting the plates loaded. So these are not good deadlifting shoes. For deadlifting, we want to have our whole foot in contact with the floor. So flat shoes that have minimal soles or no shoes. Heel on the floor, toes on the floor, and then you want to make sure that you're keeping your spine neutral through the entire exercise. So we want feet slightly outside the hips, pretty much under the hips. If we're going wider, that's a different type of deadlift. But for conventional purposes or RDL purposes, you want feet under the hips, toes forwards. And then you're going to go back and down. So here we have our spine as neutral, like we don't want to have hips high. Get the core tight and use that tightness of the core to pull the arch out of your lower back. You don't want to lift with an arch in your lower back. And then hands come in. You're going to set your shoulders back and down. Use your lats, your back muscles, to hold them. And then you're going to inhale, press through your feet, and stand up. So shoulders stay back. You're keeping the armpit covered. As you lower, you're going to bend the knees, but you're keeping that curve out of your back so your spine is neutral. And the only way to get the curve out of your back and really work on that hinge is to really, really engage your core. The more we think about pressing
the floor away, like doing a leg press, the stronger we're going to be. The more we can keep our entire foot in contact with the floor and have a really good base, the stronger we're going to be. And then keeping those lats back and down is also crucial. So here you can see that my spine is not in neutral. I have that arch in my back. So we want to take that out, use the lower core, get those lats strong, and then you're going to stand up. And then to use the jack to re-rack our really not heavy weights here, we just bring it in. You're going to hook it on and stand it up. And then it makes it so easy to unload all the weights on it. And that is pretty simply a conventional deadlift.
And then from there, our last exercise is a burnout on the leg extension. So with leg extension, really smooth, really slow, really controlled tempo, making sure that we are fully contracting the whole quad and not using any kind of momentum. And if you're going to do a burnout, you're going to go to failure. So have fun with that, and welcome to your burning quads.
I'm Coach Clarissa, and today we are going to go over the leg extension routine. So with leg extension, you're going to be working quads, and we want to make sure that the seat is back far enough that we're getting a good stretch on the quads. And then we want to also make sure that the ankle pad is adjusted so that you're getting, again, a good stretch on the quad. So the goal with the leg extension is obviously to isolate quads. So we want to make sure that we're doing this exercise working in a slow and controlled manner. That way we keep keeping tension on the quads for the entire exercise. So you're going to extend the knees and then control it on the way back down. So we're working full range of motion. We want to bring the weight all the way down, not slamming them, but just bringing them down, and then fully extend the quads again. So you're trying to bring it up so you have a good contraction, pause for a second, and then return to that starting point. As we're doing this, we're getting good blood flow, we're stimulating the quads, and really working to develop both outer and inner quad, which is going to help increase your squats, which is going to help build out that leg shape that we all want, and overall really going to help to strengthen our knees and make us stable as we're getting older. If you have any questions and more want to check out, make sure that you are doing this exercise correctly, stop by. We would be happy to schedule this.
And that is our workout for today. I hope that you liked it. If you do the workout and you like it, let me know. If you do it and hate it, again, let me know. Feedback's always great. Otherwise, be sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to get our weekly updates.